Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your daily tarot reading. Thank you for joining me in today's reading. I'm going to be using the Universal Weights deck and the Starseed Oracle deck in today's reading. So remember to take what resonates and to leave behind whatever you feel does not. So let's find out what messages come through with today's cards. So the first card we have is the Star card. Next we have the Justice card. And finally we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So that shows that you could be dealing with a fire sign. So another Sagittarius, an Aries, or even a Leo. And at the bottom of the deck we have the World card. Okay, so with the Star card, this card is showing me that perhaps there is something that you have been hoping and wishing for. And this is something that perhaps you may really desire. But with this card, it is showing the stage of being in a place where you are very optimistic about being able to receive what you are hoping for. And remaining very positive while you are awaiting receiving that. And so this card shows a lot of faith. And with the Star card, that faith is what is ultimately going to be what is going to be bringing this thing that you are desiring into the physical, into reality, and it's going to be what leads to the manifestation. So the Star card is a card that comes out when it's really a sign about being able to maintain that faith because you are very close to the manifestation. Maybe getting a chance at being even more inspired when it comes to what it is that you desire and you perhaps have been longing for. So the Star card is being able to maintain that optimism for the manifestation of that desire. And with the Star card, this is a card that shows that being a wish that is soon to be granted and fulfilled. Next we have the Justice card, and with the Justice card, this is all about getting back what you deserve, and that's all about anything that you put out there being able to come back to you, and that can be in the form of good karma. So even with the Star card, and that being a card that's all about maintaining that faith, so that faith that you have for what you are desiring is something that may be leading to this justice, which is ultimately the revealing of this manifestation, and it really coming back full circle and coming back to you. Also, the Justice card, this shows a lot of truth. So on this day, perhaps even a truth may be getting revealed to you. And I'm getting that it can be something that can be very inspiring to you, what with it being right next to the Star card. And it can even be something that's very motivating too. And with the Seven of Wands, this is a card in the reverse. This is showing perhaps being at a place where you are almost at the end of a journey. With this card, and it being right next to the World card, and the World card being all about a fulfillment, and ultimately with the World card, this is a completion and you getting what you want, and it is getting to the end of a journey. So perhaps with whatever you are desiring and whatever you are working towards, this is something that is very possible to be accomplished with the World card, because this card shows an achievement, an accomplishment ultimately, and it's the ultimate kind of accomplishment. It can also show independence. So perhaps with this Star card, and you believing and you having faith for what it is that you are trying to manifest, really getting that optimism really inspires your next actions. So with being able to maintain that faith, it is something that shows up in the way that you perhaps in your mindset, and that mindset could be exactly what is leading to being able to move in a direction that is going to be more in alignment with what you are trying to accomplish. And so that faith that the Star card is showing is something that can ultimately bring about this manifestation and ultimately this accomplishment, this achievement with the World card at the bottom of the deck. So with that Seven of Wands, I'm really seeing you being able to stand your ground, perhaps against any naysayers or people who may be trying to distract you. I'm really seeing you being able to fight for what you believe in. So with the Justice card and the World card, I'm really seeing a big revelation on this day that may be coming to pass. This could even be that manifestation of what you are hoping for with the Star card. And you may be proving many people wrong. You may be acting against all odds. But with this card being next to the Justice card, I'm really seeing perhaps with you being able to accomplish something that perhaps other people may have looked at as being something that is against the odds. Perhaps people are not really in very supportive mode with this Seven of Wands being in the reverse. You being able to accomplish it is what is really perhaps even inspiring to other people around you. So I'm seeing also a transformation as far as perhaps the attitudes of the people who are around you in terms of their support. Definitely seeing a wish being granted with the Star card and the World card both showing up in this reading. So I'm going to pull out a card from the Starseed Oracle deck. So the card we have is this card over here. It says cracked open. Rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. It says don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through the crumbling that we can allow our worlds to be alchemized. And it says let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. So it says stay open to the possibility that tragedies, your losses, your sorrows, and your heart happened for you, not to you. Bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Surrender to the alchemy of life. Okay, so this card, I'm really getting that perhaps with the Seven of Wands, perhaps the opposition and whatever was working against you, be it in the form of perhaps people who had opposing opinions or who weren't on your side very much when it comes to this desire that you may have that may be perhaps unique. That disappointing feeling is subject to change. And it says be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds and in ways we could only dream were possible. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a card from the Fairy Tarot deck for more messages. So definitely with that message of the Starseed Oracle deck, I'm seeing you being, other people may be coming around, perhaps even if it is later, but they are coming around, and that may be even after the manifestation of what it is that you are desiring with the Star card and being able to make that work. Okay, and the card that came out from the Fairy Tarot deck is this card. It's called the Dreamer. So it says, embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, trust yourself. Okay, so even with this card, I'm really getting that perhaps you are on a journey that you are having to begin on your own. This is perhaps a journey that begins with you walking it, or perhaps even you paving this path. So even this card is talking about, I'm getting is you following your own intuition and you being able to embrace your own personal direction. So even with this card, this is about not letting fear hold you back, no matter how unique it is and how different. So even with the Seven of Wands in the reverse, this could even feel like rejection. It could be a very painful experience and very painful kind of a backlash. But this card is all about being able to transform that rejection and even being able to transcend it. And with it being saying rock bottom, the only way to go from rock bottom is up. This journey ends with you feeling very fulfilled and satisfied. And also with the dreamer card, I'm seeing that is perhaps you being able to even impart the wisdom that you have acquired from this journey, and everything that you have learned along this journey, and everything that you have experienced onto somebody else. And you're able to also show up as an inspiration to other people with that star card. This is a renewal of faith in an idea that perhaps was just accepted as being something that is against the odds. It's not something that happens for certain kind of people. Perhaps that's the attitude that the people around you may have had. But with this with the star card and the world card in this reading, I'm really seeing you proving a lot of people wrong. So this is being able to experience the lows, and also being able to find yourself when you are at a rock bottom. And that is something that is perhaps growing your faith and also maturing you even more as far as this journey, or on this the vision that you had when you were still just hoping for this desire, this wish to manifest. And seeing that is something that is changing you for the better. This is something that is really, it's the light that is coming in through the cracks. And so with the dreamer and the star, that can be that people perhaps look at you as a dreamer, but with the star card, this is ultimately you showing up as a star. And with the star, this is perhaps you being in the spotlight for being able to accomplish something that perhaps was never expected. And I'm really getting that you are able to really inspire many. Okay, so that is all I have for today's reading, Sagittarius. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you in tomorrow's reading. Bye, Sagittarius.